That is one big pile of
Now I know normally an article on a video game website about your setup would be non-controversial. I mean, it's a thing. Now, I know there are a wide variety of rigs or setups that actually, I'm going to have a wholesome end to this video where I'm going to have everyone submit their setups so that, you know, we can see how everything's going out there, and we can maybe do a little lighthearted roasting of each other. Because look, we've all been there. We've all been on the, the end table on the couch, broken, leaning to the side. You got your laptop or you got your desktop floating in a bucket of water, you know, wherever the case may be, or on top of a bucket of water, not inside of it. But Nathan Grayson, never really able to get out from underneath his, how do we say this? His relations, I guess is what I might call it, with Zoe Quinn way back in the day. But nonetheless, I don't want to shame the guy. But he wrote an article called "Stuck at Home and I Can't Stop Upgrading My Gaming Setup." Now, this guy has been writing about video games, for a little while. Let's call it over 10 years he has been writing about video games. Now, I expect that he's got a pretty legendary setup. I'm assuming it's going to dwarf what I got. I don't really call what I have anything special. It's literally a folding table with stuff. I'll show you a picture. But here we are, stuck at home. I can't stop upgrading my gaming setup. If you give yourself an absurd but subtly practical gaming chair, you'll ask yourself for a new microphone. When you give yourself a new microphone, you'll ask for a new all-in-one audio mixer with studio quality preamp. When you have the microphone and mixer, you will look into your monitor and realize that it is small and dinky. After you order an ultra-wide widescreen monitor, you will wonder if you can still pay your taxes. Now, I remember being bit by this bug this is how old I am. I was around for the basically creation of 3D effects, 3D effects, the computer, the graphics cards, original Voodoo 2, I believe, and then running SLI with an SLI cable way back in the day. I think those were 1 or 2 megabytes, I think. I couldn't afford Voodoo 2, so I had a Voodoo Banshee, which was like the cheap, dime store version of it. Still better than anything integrated. I think it was an AGP port 2X, AGP 2X, I think, or maybe 1X at that time. But I still would have LAN parties at my house. Everyone would set up their towers on the air hockey table that no longer got used for that, set up their Mountain Dews, and then once everyone got done trading files of our favorite videos, then we'd get down to landing and we'd be playing some like Unreal Tournament or Quake 2, Quake 3, Turok, all sorts of stuff like that back in the day. But I saw a wide variety of rigs, and I don't judge them. But back then, we'd be side by side, the AMD guy against the Intel guy, running so you could get the most frames per second, running FPS tests, squeezing out every bit of performance out of that Celeron processor way back in the day. Or actually, I think I had a Pentium 2. Well, I had a PAT 4, everything after a 486 basically, but squeezing out, overclocking, everything just to get those extra 3 frames a second. Even though we all played online with dial-up internet and had 300 pings, that was where things got busy downstairs in my basement. Mountain Dew, Dorito crumbs on the keyboards, and good old-fashioned landing. That needs to come back, by the way. I know moving modern-day setups isn't easy, but that's what we used to do. Everyone would come to my house. You'd have a tower under one arm. You'd have your mouse, your keyboard, your headset in another, or in a box, and then you'd bring your 17-inch CRT monitor too. Everyone would bring their whole system over on a Friday night, and then we'd have a LAN party. I wonder if people do that anymore these days. Probably not. Anyway, I remember the days of being obsessed by upgrading. Then I started repairing computers for a living, and I fell out of love with it, seeing how much money people were wasting. If you give a mouse a cookie, surprisingly messed up tale about supposed dangers of being nice to people, but I have once found the core arguments hold true precisely in one arena: me upgrading my gaming setup. It started with my decision to order a hideous, beautiful, monstrous, perfect $450 pink gaming chair a few months ago. Well, let me tell you right now, I know a lot of you out there aren't going to like to hear this. Gaming chairs are a ripoff. Yes, they're better than a folding chair. But if you want to protect your back, you get yourself, what is a Herman Miller? That's what I have. I have 2 of them. I mean, it's cool. It feels cool. But they're all a rip. Let's be honest. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, if DX Racer wants to send me another chair, I mean, I've got one right over there. I had this thing. I don't know if you can. Yep, there it is. I have that DX Racer for forever. Except now I have a little better chair. Anyway, I digress. Whoops. After this is saying he refuses to regret buying that. Okay. It was easy enough to justify the microphone and mixer purchases that came in its wake. I've been wanting a proper streaming and podcasting setup for a while now, and I plan to give myself to continue to self-lockdown for the foreseeable future, no matter what policy permutations follow everything. It makes sense to upgrade what is, at this point, my main means of communicating with the outside world, and also doing your job as a video game journalist. I just want to be clear that that is Nathan Grayson's job. He is a video game journalist. Now I'm obsessing over my webcam. I digress here. So you got his USB mic, recommendations, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all right. Should have been. But then the other night, I took stock of my setup and realized that the centerpiece, my very capable gaming laptop. Whoa, wait a minute. Now, I know you can get some nice gaming laptops. I have one. Asus ROGs aren't bad. Origin. I have an Origin Tower. Origin makes laptops. You can get very capable gaming laptops. But if I were reviewed video games for a living, I probably wouldn't be playing on a 15-inch laptop. So anyway, sitting on a rickety stack of books on my desk for better visibility now looks woefully out of place. So I figured I was going to buy a monitor and stuck inside for possibly the entirety of my early 30s. With only the monitor to keep me company, I may as well go all out. I began searching the internet for ultra widescreen monitors with bonkers resolutions and refresh rates. Unfortunately, I discovered at the top of the line, ultra wide costs more than $1,000. I'm clearly going through something right now, but even I have my limits. So I went much cheaper model that all the reviews said was all right as long as you didn't mind making a few compromises. But of course, I'm going to plug my laptop into a monitor. I'll need a USB keyboard. I'm pretty sure oddly angled laptop is giving me carpal tunnel. What are you doing? You don't even have a mouse and keyboard? Girl? All right. So what exactly was Nathan Grayson gaming on? That is what 10 years as a video game journalist. Actually, MSI, I think I might have the same laptop, actually. I have an MSI gaming laptop, too. It's not a bad rig, but I'm not a game journalist. In fact, I'm on my tower, which is where I would play video games if I were reviewing them. How are you going to review a video game on a 15-inch monitor? Nathan, I know you've had a hard life. I know you've had a hard life. A kitchen chair and a laptop on top of a book. This is who tells you if video games are good or not. Do you even like computer games? I mean, this is your setup, and we're supposed to take your review and critique of video games seriously. And you're a gaming journalist and have been for like 10 years. Even I live in an apartment, and my rig literally destroys yours. You've been covering games for a decade, and this is your setup? Do you just run Depression Quest and other games you're mentioned in? Oh my God. I mean, this is his current... Oh my God, he doesn't even have the resolution set right on his monitor. What? Look at all the cables now. That's impressive. What a... just a disastrous mess now. He's got his Overwatch brand chair, which, fine. You get whatever chair you want. He looks like he's got some MSI keyboard stuff, maybe. An audio mixer, preamp, fine. He's got a Cat 5 cable. This is the kind of mess that I wanted to see. This is the kind of mess I can respect. This rat's nest back here, that's impressive. Now, you've got to fix your monitor. Does your laptop output not support the right monitor? Probably. I'm guessing. Are you screen mirroring your laptop on a widescreen monitor? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Fix your screen resolution. Yeah. Why would you buy a widescreen monitor and then, oh my God, Nathan, you report on video games for F's sake. Oh, what's this? Oh, you had to have a cat in there. All right, fine. You're forgiven. You know, now we're gonna do a little. If you tweet at your setup, maybe I'll do a setup review where I'll take a look at your setups, maybe roast them a little bit, maybe have a little fun, maybe offer some props. Why don't you, if you use Twitter, you can tweet your setups to hashtag quartering rigs, RIGS, hashtag quartering rigs, and we'll put all of, you know, we'll take a look at everybody's setup. I have mine. It's nothing special, like literally. It's very basic, but I'll show you what I'm working with here. A lot of people ask. I took a picture, which I'll try to bring up here because, you know, it's not much. It's really not much going on. I've got a junky old Asus IPS monitor. I've got, here it is. Okay, so let's go here. All right. So you can see here, the centerpiece of any good gaming rig is a cat. Okay, so here's Colt. Now I have this footboard, a Kensington footboard, which I won't co-sign. They're cheap, but they break all the time. If you use it to like get up, you're gonna break it. But it is nice to have a spot for your feet. Then I have the, I think it's called the Sound Blaster Katana soundbar and subwoofer. Very nice. I've got my preamp here, which is just a Scarlett 2i. I've got my backup gaming rig back over there. We won't talk about that. I'm not a game journalist. I've got Origin Genesis Tower here. I mean, it's obviously pretty beefy. I've got obviously the Joe Exotic coffee mug, very important. Then if you look real closely down here, this is a Lynx in the box. Yes, I have a widescreen monitor as well. Nothing. This is nothing, you know. And I've got, you know, a $10,000 computer setup on a $25 folding table because I keep it real. I'm looking forward to seeing yours at hashtag quartering rigs, or you can email them to me at thequartering@gmail.com, and maybe we'll do a nice big review or overview of everybody's rigs. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.